Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and I'm going to talk about Vanessa Guillen, that case here regarding the Fort Hood case that went on, that is going on still. A lot of people have come to me, my rays of light. A lot of people that have tuned into my video, probably new to my channel, have come to me with stories that are coming out about what really happened to Vanessa. Now, this is a very, very tragic story. I feel like the media, the police, the investigators are holding on to a lot of stuff. So before they even come out and confirm everything, there's just a lot of stuff that they're holding back on. But I do feel like they will confirm certain things in the next couple of days. We're going to get more details and stuff. Like, they recently came out and said that she was bludgeoned to death, and that she did have, this is not a psychic reading that I'm doing. I'm just doing a commentary about like everything, so we can discuss that and discuss that in the comments as well. I was going to do a live, but I'm having trouble speaking because I had my teeth worked on today just a few hours ago, and so I'm real sore, and if my speech is kind of slurred, that's the reason why. But we need to continue to pray for Vanessa's mother and sister and her family, the entire family, her boyfriend, just all the people that loved her and that love her, people on the base, that are still on the base, other women that are afraid. Now, I know that a lot of the stuff that's coming out shows an African-American male, and then there was a white guy, if I'm not mistaken, that, supposedly killed himself, right? So there's a lot of lies and cover-ups to cover up the cover-up. And I feel like we're going to see a lot more come out about her in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, and at the time that I did the reading, when I go back, I had said there was three key people, but up to 5. I did see that they were all white. In this case, like I said, what you see in the media, don't believe everything. Just because there is now a female also, like a couple, a white female or Hispanic female and a black male, they're not the only key players, trust me. There's a lot of corruption. The other people that are there, like I said, 3 white men, and I do believe to this day, and I'm going to stick by that there are 3 men that knew about this whole thing that happened to Vanessa. But the person that they have is probably the one that they have more evidence on. But I feel like, they are trying to get away. But I feel like they're going to talk, and there's going to be more truth that comes out. There's a lot of people on that base that we are talking about serial killers. So there are serial killers there in that base. It is a very dangerous place to be in, and I feel like a lot of people are vigilant and need to be vigilant, specifically women and men, as well, because this is obviously not the only person that's been targeted. There are men that are there that are being targeted as well. So I feel like there is going to be an external investigation, maybe from the government. This could be like the FBI, in addition to what is already being done. But I keep hearing investigations going on. I feel like they're gonna go back and find more cases eventually. Excuse me. And there may be, like, I don't know what this means, but Spirit is talking about other bodies that are there, that may have not been a part of the base. I don't know what that means again, that the remains have been hidden in this kind of area. So only cadaver dogs, I feel like, would be able to go out there and really kind of look at the area. It is very, very scary. When I did this reading, when I did the reading, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't share here, that I shared on my Patreon because it was too graphic to share here. So I'm just going to comment on one thing that I picked up. Now, when I picked up on Vanessa, what I picked up and I couldn't say here at the time, which I still haven't said up until now, like you guys are now hearing it, like, but my Patreon members and my Platinum Patreon members actually got to hear it or read it, was that I felt like I felt like there was a dismemberment. Like, I don't know what that meant at the time, but the fact that they found like partial remains, I don't know at this point if like there was like a broken part of the torso, the bones. I don't know how bad, but I kept feeling a lot of pain, and I kept feeling like impacts to the face. Apparently she was bludgeoned. Okay, now this is just stuff that's coming out. Again, we don't know the truth, and I don't believe everything that the media says either, but I do feel like there are some truths that are coming out. Not because I said it, but because spirit made me feel it. And that's the thing that's very, very, difficult with these readings, is that I usually get sick when I do these kind of things. Maybe for a day or two, I feel drained, I feel sick. And I remember feeling a lot of pain afterwards, in my head, like strong headaches, neck pains, just like feeling like suffocated as well. It creates panic attacks and stuff like that. So, I feel like they're not coming clean entirely. I do feel like there's just so much more that is going to come out, things that need to be said that are not said, and women that are afraid to come out. I have to tell you this: come out, come forward, speak your truth, stand up, because if you don't do a stand, this is going to continue to repeat over and over and over again. So, like, I feel like the universe is telling these women that have been victims of sexual assault, or have been victims, or have witnessed somebody else, stand up for your fellow girlfriends, for your fellow women. Stand up. And for the guys that are out there, stand up for your women. Stand up, because you guys are out there with a very important mission to serve our country, to help one another. And if you are, if we are losing our soldiers, and no one is taking accountability, like what happened to Vanessa shouldn't have happened, period. It shouldn't have happened at all. It's a very unfortunate, it's a very sick thing that happened to this beautiful young woman that had so much life ahead of her. And again, we don't know, like, I don't know if these are even the remains of Vanessa. That I'm just going off of what they've said, what has been, what has come out. But I do feel like with the evidence they have, everything else, that the probability of her being alive at this point is non-existent. But I didn't come on here to add further fuel to the fire, or to create like drama behind this, but rather to send a message, basically, to all of you that are constantly sending me messages. Thank you so much for keeping me in the loop of everything that's going on. I'm fully aware of what's going on right now, and like I said, there's going to be a lot of twists and cover-ups in this story, in this case involving Vanessa Guillen and what really happened there. So even though they may present evidence, even though 2 people may be prosecuted and a third one was suicide, trust me, there's other people that are still free that may be tied to this case and that know what goes on. But like I said, in this base right now, what I feel like in this case with Vanessa is that people, superiors, people in power know about what happened, and other soldiers, but they didn't want to be implicated in this. And I have to tell you that if you were involved in something like that, you are, like, I don't know what's the legal term, aiding and abetting, or like, you're being a contributor to that. Don't be afraid to come out and say something to the law, to the enforcement or to the FBI, because I feel like, again, there's a lot of stuff that's not being said, and they're going to always, what I hear spirits say is that they're always going to protect their own. They're always going to protect their own, and I don't mean like protect the soldiers and protect people from like what's happening, specifically women. I feel like they are going to, guys are guys at the end of the day in this military, and not all of guys in the military that are white or African American are bad, or any other nationality. There's good guys out there, but a lot of them are innocent, and then there's a couple of rotten apples that definitely need to be held to higher standards, just like our police officers are now being held to a higher standard in the fact that they are evaluated mentally before even being accepted into the military. Like, there needs to be mental evaluations that go on periodically, not just when you initially enter, but even in the middle of your, serving however many years. Like, this should be like a yearly thing, because psychologically, the things that some of our soldiers endure, honestly, across the seas and overseas, and you don't have to agree with me with this, it's just my opinion, it needs to be addressed, because I do feel like in many ways that it is, people change, and psychologically things change. hormonally things change with a lot of the male soldiers out there. I don't feel like the females are the problem. Now, I'm not saying that there are not a few females out there that are probably jealous of other women and that would, you know, do certain things that are very twisted like a serial killer would, but I feel like a lot more of the men, some of them, not all of them, because don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that all of our military guys are like that. There's a lot of guys that are decent, good human beings and that truly are there to serve our country, and you know, they are not racist, they're not misogynistic, they're not chauvinists, you know, pigs. They are good guys out there that are really serving our country, but then there's this select few that are not good at all. But I definitely would say that what we can do is light like a white candle, pray, send prayers out to Vanessa's family and to all the women of Fort Hood and all the women in the military across the world, or in the Navy or in the Marines. We need to start, you know, having their back, and really also people that are in these organizations need to have each other's backs and not be afraid to speak up, because again, if you want change, we are in the season of change. You have to speak up, otherwise nothing will get done. And again, this is just my little bit of tea that I want to kind of spill, this kind of commentary on my channel, which I rarely do. Like, I try not to have an opinion, because when I do readings, you need to disconnect yourself from having an opinion about this. Again, I'm going to be criticized for what I have to say regardless, and that's okay. You're entitled to your own opinions. But, you know, I feel like, and I've said this before, even before I did the Vanessa reading, I had said this on the insights that I provide to my Platinum members on Patreon. I had said, you know, that I felt like the military was going to be held accountable. This is not the only scandal. There's going to be more, trust me, and not in Fort Hood, in other places in the military, where women are going to start coming forward. The families of women are going to start coming forward. And if you are a female going through this specifically, you need to speak to your family. Someone needs to know. That's what Vanessa did right in this situation, was that she did come out to her mom and maybe her sister and did tell them what was going on, so they were fully aware of it. And I feel like you need to not hold on to things because of fear, but rather speak it over with someone, get some help, because there is help available. Like I said, there are good people in the military, and there are people that will have your back. So it's unfortunate, you know, and I'm trying to keep it together, because this is so hard. You know, when I saw the mom's speech addressing Fort Hood, she spoke just Spanish, right? And she was speaking and the passion behind the mom and the heartbreak, you know, it was just devastating, and it tore me up, like, inside, you know. And I'm not a very emotional person, but it tore me up inside to see how the mom is hurt, and how the family is hurt, and how the lies exist, and the lies that are being told and fed to the media exist. And I feel like I said, what is coming out is just partial truth. It's not the full truth, and it's convoluted. It's cover-ups to cover up something else. And I feel like there will be justice, and certain things are going to be coming out weeks and months after these discoveries and things that are happening with the Vanessa Guillen case. But my heart goes out to all the men and women in the military. Thank you for serving our country. Thank you for doing what's right. And thank you for being brave. And for those of you that are out there that are in the military, that are serving our country, or in the Marines or Navy, thank you as well. Thank you for being here and for existing. And please have each other's backs. Please speak out if you know something is going on. Just speak out and stand in your truth and stand in your power. Just because you would get demoted or get thrown out for speaking that, it doesn't matter. You have to continue to stand in your truth. That's all I have to say, guys. I love you so much. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this video, and let me know what you think. What are your opinions? This is a heavy energy. So again, big angel hugs to everybody. Thank you so much. Bye.